Hey, I hope you are all doing amazing. And during this video, I wanted to talk about making contact. I do receive many questions from you guys on email, some of them on my page, other on social media, and this was one of the most frequency questions that I have been lately. I think I'm a starseed. I'm eager to know how to connect with my family. I don't know what to do, and I want to share from my experience. I'm gonna set the momentum for you guys to know that I'm alive because I wasn't planning this. I was doing yoga and I kind of do my own temple to create the space, and then it was coming through and coming through and coming through. And I had a dream with aliens on Sedona. I haven't gone to Sedona yet, and I live close, and I would like to participate there. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys, sorry for the noise, a discount. We're going to start the High Priestess course that is going to be all about divine feminine and how to hold the space for healing, for wisdom, for nourishment, for develop your own gifts. It's going to be a little bit about everything, 8 weeks, and I will do 10 half scholarships and one for free. You guys can type your name in. I will PM you with the details about how you can get the half price access. I do have 10 spaces left, and for one of them I will just randomly select if you wanted to get it for free, and then I will notify tomorrow who could be selected. Just type I would like to do it for free, and for the ones that would like to have half of it, let me know and then I can give you a code so you can access. And we're gonna start next week. I'm going to send the login details for the ones who participate. It's going to be on Zoom, and I'm eager and excited about this. But thank you all for your comments. I appreciate. Okay, Galactics. I know many people, probably you have been online, that talk about being a contactee. And there are others that do kind of like alien hunting camp, and the most famous I think is a Dr. Gear. If I'm not pronouncing it correctly, you guys can correct me. And there are others persons that do it on Spanish in Peru, and then on Argentina. When I live in Mexico, I live in the same desert from Sedona. I am like 3 hours and a half from the border. Is the same vortex of galactic contact. Where I live, there is I never know how to pronounce it, but there is like a hole, like a big hole from a meteor that came a long time ago from space. It has tunnels to go to Earth, so people go hunting to catch up UFO stuff. There are different areas of Mexico where people have UFO phenomena, right? That's it. And like Puebla, that is one, and sometimes Mexico City. It depends. There another place on Oaxaca that's called the magical town that people go, and this is more like a phenomenon of lights, orbs and light that swirl around you, that people go and hunt them. And I'm sure in US and other places there are many more places like that. This could be a one way you can contact, but the easiest way is to meditate. Whether with Pleiadians or Syrians or whatever you feel drawn to, if you feel drawn to do an Orion meditation, it means you have an Orion soul extension there, and your family is the one that is going to come. Of course, set your intentions, so only the highest and easiest and best can come through, and what applies for you and what you can easiest understand, and what it will be, and what will, I was seeing like a light, and will be the ideal for that moment in time. There are different ways and there are different levels about how aliens come into this planet. And I had an interview last week with Patricia Hever. She's from France. She is very active on alien contact. She was asking me about this, and it's something that I normally don't share in YouTube. But how do you know? There are different levels. Okay, the first level, I guess, it will be through your intention. You don't have to meditate. As soon as you want to be a contactee, you're already making contact. But maybe we're not aware of it. Maybe we don't have proof, and we would like to have proof. The second, it will be to use a tool that put you in the mood and the center and the high frequency, that you can increase your frequency and then can match at the level that it feels real. It will be real no matter what. But let me show you my beautiful cat, Lana. And you could do it through breathing techniques or any way you want to do it. And of course, there are things like sound you can put or crystals to create the space, or things to play around with. If you try to take pictures with lenses or crystals, they will come through the lens flare. This is like a way for you. I call them those like essence codes. Spirits or our ancestors or loves or elementals or aliens, they can come through pictures and the light when you are playing with to let us know we're never alone. I'm seeing that you guys are connecting. I cannot read because of the light, but I will reply your comments later. Set up your vibe if you would like to get connected. Comfortable, that you like it, that you're not afraid of. Sometimes it could be a little bit scary because it's something unknown, but at the same time not scary because it's unsafe. More because kind of like going into a roller coaster, that you like it, the rush of the adrenaline. And you have to be in those long starseed meditations, or if you add like a playlist of starseed meditations of light language, maybe that will do it for you. But you have to put yourself in receptive mood and allow to evolve the way it's meant to be. I used to do like a playlist of light language and then fall asleep, and that would help me to have more vivid dreams and be in a state that I could easily wake up and kind of be in between worlds. And that would be a thing for me, like to see more at night. Now I don't do it that often because I easily wake up and sense I'm more sensitive and I want more to rest, but I will still have dreams. Other thing, I think the third tip will be to go into a place that is high frequency, that is sacred, where you can set your intention and connect not only with galactics but to your own spirit guides. You could also take advantage of the dates that are like new moon or full moon or eclipse or equinox or something that will help you to boost yourself to make contact. Dream state is the easiest way for us to connect. Sometimes we don't understand, sometimes we don't remember, but it doesn't matter. Know that I don't think no one can approach to you unless it's agreed. Even if something goes out of blue, we'll find in divine order instantly. And I have been changing what I thought about galactics. First, I think the first one that I saw, it was Grace. And they used to scare me out because I was just I did my Reiki attunements all at once in 1 month, like 1, 2, 3, and then like the Master Reiki, my mediumship opened. I had no idea about galactics. I didn't know I was a starseed. I just thought I was like a known soul. And then I was showing these like little Dodas, but like skinnier and uglier, and they're like bullying me, like when you have, I don't know, when you're at school, and then there are some kids that are always like, I don't know, bully, and no one wants to be hanging out around. So they'll always chase me, and I will always run, and I was always scared of them. And I remember one dream, and I hated I hated, really, really, I have to be honest. I hated, I was upset. I think I went through all stages. I think it's the only aliens that I have had a rough time, but that was at the beginning of my journey. And in one dream, I remember that I was like in a type of FBI movie, like investigator or something. You know, when you see in those movies that there's like the CIA or FBI trying to figure out who killed Martha or whatever, and they're doing, you kill that. No, I didn't. Well, I was like put in a chair, and I had like braces on my body so I couldn't move, and it was like a strong light blinding me. And they were saying, but they were like little, I think like 3 or 4, 3 feet, I guess. I was bigger than them, but they looked ugly. And I didn't know who were they or what they wanted. And they were saying, why are you so powerful? And I was like, I'm not powerful, I just want to leave. And then when I wake up, I cleanse myself. I was asking my friends. Normally, when you just wake up, you're asking everyone because you want to figure out and you have missing links. And then I got a reading because I couldn't read myself. I could, but I didn't know how. I was too scared of it. And then the person said that I was from the Galactic Federation and that was from another timeline. And they explained about the hybrid program and the abductees and the stealing, eggs for fertilization, stuff like that. And that freaked me out more because I thought maybe I was abducted. And then I had lots of conspiracy theories in my mind that put a lot of resistance to contact to any galactics. And then at that time, I began seeing other galactics that looked beautiful, but I still couldn't connect. I was seeing the symbols. They will speak to me, and sometimes in my dreams, I will speak back to them. But when I was waking up, I wasn't doing light language. This is a question that a lot of people ask me. I can speak light language in dreams. I see it, but when I try to do it, it just doesn't come through. It happened to me for a year, maybe like a year and a half, when I could speak. And then when I could speak it, I would just say like, coo, coo. That's it. And then I kept trying and trying and trying. And then the first light language, I looked like a robot. It was like I was spitting. It wasn't the way I was seeing it. That, again, resistant, confidence. I wasn't trusted. I wasn't secure. And that was restricting my channel. One day I saw a beautiful Syrian. It was like blue ray, kind of like indigo. Not like the Avatar ones, because the Avatar ones looked like cat alike. He looked human but blue, no hair. And he was looking at me when I wake up, and he had tattoos of light that were symbology. And I kind of wanted to touch the tattoos, but it was like a holographic vision that lasted like 3 seconds. And I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful. I have no idea who are you, but you can come, like you have permission. And then, I don't know, one day I think I saw a Mayan, but they look very galactic, short, like galactic, but tribal at the same time. I saw different things, but I couldn't connect, I couldn't speak. That freaked me out. I think the first ones that I could speak, it was Arcturians. I did a meditation, and then I put a playlist of meditations of my favorite who I was following, and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up in my sleep, and then I was sitting with this Arcturian in an interview, and then he was saying, we are here, and I was understanding. It was a weird feeling because he was speaking in light language that looked like Cantonese or something, but I was understanding in English, Spanish, whatever. And I was speaking in English, Spanish, mixed, I guess, and he was speaking in light language. So I kind of took advantage to do like a reading with the Arcturian, and then he said that he was me from Arcturus from 7th dimension, and he was called Maya, and she, I guess, was in a mothership, and then I was seeing what he was describing, and then what do you do? And then he said, well, souls that are traumatized in the universe, they cannot go to source right away. They need like a type of transition training so they can connect to love. And what we do is we place them in a innocent child state so they can reconnect with the source and be for a while, I mean hundreds of years or whatever, until they are ready to go back to the source. And I was like, and then I began asking questions like, what is my mission, and who are you, and stuff like that. Why do you talk about the we? You are like one person. And then she said that there were like 44 all connected in one being, that they were a collective. And I was like, And then I said, how I can speak and understand? This is the first time that I can understand a being. And then he said, you have to practice your light language. And I was like, how? Just do it and it will come through. Don't restrict it. And then it's the only thing that I forget. I did a second reading because stubborn, I guess. Akashic Records reading. And remember, the ones that would like to get one scholarship for free, for the ones that comment, I will select one tomorrow and post it. And for the rest, I will let you know how to can get a half price one. That it will be like very affordable. And then I begin to draw all of the symbology that I have, and then I show it to someone that I ask different persons. And then the one that I resonate the most, she's Devi Solaris. She was on Gaia back then. And then I asked her, and then she said, oh, you're from the galactic version of light. And blah, 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 blah. And then you have many aspects, and you have a mission. And I was like, what is this thing? And then she said, this is communications from spaceships and stuff like that. And then she said, that's light language. And I was like, what is light language? Like, am I not possessed or anything? I was very scared. And then she said that it was a multidimensional communication system that you can connect with spirit, your guides, your galactics, that can be understood at different levels, blah, 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 right? So I did my reading, and then we explored all of the beings that I was seeing, deeply alien. I was asking, who is the blue with blonde hair? Who is the blonde guide? Who is the Mayan one? Who is the whatever? And so I kind of, this Dorset reading helped me to get the names of the ones that I was already seeing, but the connection was very weak, I guess, for my resistance. And then I joined a group for light language, and it was how I began. And then she revealed all the ones that I was not aware. She explained to me that I was connected to Essasanis, and I was like, who's Essasanis? Essasanis are, I'm going to put the incense, it's too strong. Essasanis are hybrid race from a parallel Earth, where I have a lifetimes, hold on, as an Essasani being. And I was like, I want to know more, right? So I Googled them, and then I began searching, trying to connect, and then I began having connection with the kids, with the alien kids, and I began to drawing them and drawing all of the all of the things I was seeing, and then I began doing for me, and then from my friends, and then friend of my friends wanted, and I was doing for the nation. It was not encoded frequency then. And then I began doing works for galactic healing and how to channel and different things. And every day I was able to connect more and more and more. And then I noticed that the drawing was saying a message. They will have like a Kindle, or they will have like a stairway or something that will make sense the message. After that, I realized, I think I made peace with the grace. I realized that I was not abducted, but in the hybrid program, I was in a timeline on Earth. There is some futures that Earth go cyber, like right now, and I am kind of like one of the first wave of kids that are born without a physical mom, but I was born like in a robotic incubator or something, right? So I had defects. I saw this whole life in a dream, like a 2-hour dream, and then my body hurt. I was very painful. I think I was like albino. I looked white, all white. And there were many kids like that, and they were trying to assist us. We look that we live like in a community, very organic, and then we could see Pleiadians, Sirians, all assisting us, and then humans. For some reason, I don't know if in that timeline, it felt like women couldn't be fertile anymore. And they tried to figure out a new way, like you can do like a fertility treatment or anything. So they create this like robotic wombs when I was being born, right? This was like a lifetime. And for me, I think it was like a relief knowing that I was not abducted or anything. And then when I connect with grace, I realized that there are different levels, right? They may have been the ones that have abducted, but not in my universe. In my universe, I think it's negative and positive balance, right? It's like a little bit of everything. Few months after that, I think like 6 months, a reptilian knocked my dream state. And then I woke up. By that time, I was already speaking with everything that will wake me up, and they will share a story. And then I will ask a lot of questions. Who are you? Why do you wake me up? Are we connected? Do I need to clear anything? What is my purpose? I don't know, a lot of things. I will take like a reading with each of them and ask questions, and sometimes I will have astral travels into their own places, which the majority of the time it was magical. Like, for example, I remember that I went to Pleiades, Maya, that's my Pleiadian essence, I guess. They look like Native America, but with glowing skin. And taller, I guess. So I saw myself like it with olive skin, and we have like brown edge hair, and we're like all beautiful, and it's like a very organic community. And when I went there, even though we're not speaking, through the feeling, I could understand everything, and that it was touching. And I remember that when I reached there, they were waiting for me, and they had a fire, and it was like a celebration, and they all look alike, and they all say, the one who took me there, it was like a couple. They say they were my first parents, and then they said, all of them that you see, they are your family. And I remember that I said, all of them? Yes. And then what they were doing, they were placing their hands in my heart and taking my hand in their heart and kind of like touching our third eye as a exchanging of a greeting. And I love that. I love it. It felt so intimate and touching, but like caring, because everyone were kind of like asking, like, could I? And I was like, yeah. And then I was asking them, like, can I do that? And then by exchanging your soul, even though I could see, I couldn't lie or anything, they would see me transparently. It was like a beautiful thing to experience. And then I met different Pleiadians from different dimensions, different Syrians and Orions and different beings. With the reptilian one, I remember that he knocked my door and I was like, show yourself. Whenever I got like a shadowy being, I'll always ask, show yourself. Let me know who are you, right? I was not scared back then, so I would ask them a lot of questions. And the reptilian kind of looked like that. And then I said, are you a reptilian? And then he said, you are doing a lot of shadow work. Kind of like in a, I don't know, movie thing. Do you need assistance? And I was like, no, I got it. Just kind of like go away. And then I closed my eyes and then it kind of like open and then the reptilian leave. I think it's the first time they contacted me. They could come through sessions if my client has reptilian roots, and normally will share a story. Why they got there, why they did whatever they did, what they are looking for. And there is a lot of sorrow, there is a lot of pain, there is a lot of suffering. It's not like I want to be bad because I have a dark heart. Normally, this story kind of would justify whatever happened in that situation. And that could happen with the deep sea timeline or Egyptian or Atlantean or Lemuria or anything. One thing about connecting, meditating, whatever way it's easy for you, you don't always have to do a reading. Reading will help you to clarify your missing pieces, but do your job first. And meditation is the best way to do it, whether you wanted to do it through the language of the light, because you will access your conscious and your subconscious, or a normal meditation, it doesn't matter. As long as it feels right for you, then that's your technique. But once in a while, a reading will give you the neutral perception about, yes, what you are getting, what could happen, and something that you haven't been able to visualize it yet. Love is the best protection. No one will do anything, no one attack you or anything when you are full in your space. They don't even attempt to connect with you. It's like, don't even attempt to come close, right? Don't even think about it. But I realized by having my third eye open at night, the majority of the time, that I'm always protected. I realized that I had like a Men in Black guys that I was like, who are those? They're angels. And I was like, angels, they're looking for you. They're like protecting you. Sometimes when an entity wanted to enter, I will always see them kind of like pulling a window or anything in the ether. And then I will see hands right away, kind of like that. And I was like, oh, right? And I will fall asleep. Sometimes I will see that like a dragon wings wrapping me. And then I was like, oh. And then when I saw those things, I realized that just by saying to my higher self, you are in charge, that was setting protection. Yes. And other times I will see that I will have like a double fence, kind of like the border between Mexico and US. And I was like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but the higher aspect of me did it on behalf of me. You're always protected. Nothing will happen to you unless you have to learn something, like me and the Grace, I guess. I think Grace and other entities came to me because I was so afraid that I needed to go through and then realize that we're all equal. Neither the Pleiadians are more than us, neither us are more than them. We complement each other. Whatever we do, we send it back to the source, and maybe our guides. Let me see if I can read it. I'm blindsided by the sun, but I will go into your questions later and do them. Then we channel the beautiful way they integrate our experience, but we are them, they are us. they're just different. Like, for example, my eye is different than my ears and my feet, but they're all part of my body. It's like water. Like when you put water in a jar, kind of like this. If I put more water right here, it's the same thing. They are just in different places. And I'm gonna drink. Oh, it's so good. They're just like in different places. But I think the darkness that it is, it has a reason to be. It has a reason to challenge us. It's not because God wanted to punish you or anything, because God is just like a smart field where everything can be. That's what my single perception. I don't think anyone can approach to me unless there is a purpose for it. And I think I'm protected all the time. So whenever I have an entity or something, I'm going to ask, okay, who are you? Where are you coming from? What lifetime? What do I need to learn? And then I do my shadow work. But normally there are going to be pieces of me. Sometimes it's like a piece of my son or my daughter or my twin or my mom or someone that I know. When I do the interview, the entity, it's going to be related to something that I know or another aspect of me. With alien contact after that, I have had once in a while, you're gonna have an upgrade that sometimes you can have like a physical cataclysm, headache or something, or that let you know you are upgraded. I think the first time I saw like a kaleidoscopic lights running around and I couldn't move, and that freaked me out of hell. And I've been asking my friend a lot of, and who can assist me? I cannot move. I don't know what to do. I think it lasts like 30 seconds. That for me was like 30 minutes. My friend says that I had demons, wanted to get my axe to give them to the grace, and that freaked me out. We both ended drained. The light faded away like in 30 seconds, I guess, or 20, I don't know. The next day, a soul friend of mine that she channels Pleiadians and angels messaged me and says Pleiadians wanted to apologize. They wanted to assist you because you cannot see when you go to the astral and they need to fix your third eye, but because you got scared, they back off. If you wanted the procedure, ask them to come back and they will willingly do that, but they won't do it without your consent. And now I feel so stupid and silly because of what my friend said. It wasn't true, but I believe, because we're both aligned with fear, I guess, that I was seeing drama when it wasn't. And I added part of my boundaries. Show yourself. Why are you here? What is the reason? How I can get rid of you? And ask for permission before doing any procedure, so I'm aware of it. And then I begin to see kind of like a doctor symbology stuff. Because I said, if they're asking for permission, I assume it's for the highest good. I will say yes. But if they're not asking for permission, maybe I will freak out, so back off and then come back when I know what you're doing. I think after that, they come to me like every 6 months and do the same thing. And now I know that it's Pleiadian, so I will just lean on and stop whatever I'm doing and allow them to come through. And it's very pleasant, kind of like a Kundalini crystal thing, and I love it. Whenever they do that, I'm like, oh my God, that's so good. Can you fix a shoulder? Can you go into the sciatic nerve? Whatever. I begin to request for a lot of things. And then I have felt that I'm pulled off my body with beaming lights on my window at night few times. If any of that happened to you, I think the first time it was scary, but it's scary, guys, because you're not in control. That's my theory, and you don't know what happened. So I felt like I was leaving, And then I was showing my body, and I got some, I got upset, and I was like, "Oh, who are you?" And then when I entered the ship, I saw these beings kind of like Arcturians with roots of light, like electricity, all over, and they look ugly. And I was like, "Who are you? You wake me up. I have to work tomorrow." And then I always say like, "Hydra," right? And I was like, "Hydra." And then when I look, I saw that I was one of them. And then I was like, "Oh, my bad." And then I don't remember, right? I realized I was not in need to get neither upset or sad or anything, because it was me with the different lenses. So everything is a reflection of me, I guess. And everything will be a reflection of you. It doesn't mean we are that. If you're so reptilian, you are reptilian. Maybe the reflection means the opposite. But what I wanted to say, if there is something for you to look about, so explore it. Why? And then one this moment, what do I need to do? Higher self calm. If I were higher self, what would higher self said to me? And then allow it to unfold. I've had other dreams with future, like for example, I know there are a lot of things that predicts things that will happen, and they may be all true, but it doesn't mean it's in your future, because there are different futures, guys. There are many different futures. The fact that I dreamed that it may be a hurricane or something in my city, maybe I went there to clear it so it doesn't happen on my city. Maybe represent a hurricane in my emotions, and it doesn't mean it will physically happen. You have to discern the information before let it out, and then if you receive it, observe what you purchase. Because beliefs, you don't have to get the first one that comes. It's like a menu. When you go to a restaurant, you don't order the first thing. You observe it, and then you choose what you want to get. Do the same thing with conspiracy theories and beliefs about what could happen, whether you have them or you get it from someone else. And then ask a lot of questions. If you don't get answers, leave it, and then said, this is what I said to my guys. Okay, I don't get it. Give the answers whenever I can understand them, with ease and grace, and they will do. Maybe in a week later, maybe in a month later, maybe in a day later, maybe someone will say that to you. They will say, I think it's for this and this, and you'll make sense. So allow it to unfold as it needs to be. And if you don't ever get it, that's fine. Maybe you did not need it to get it. So trust that. With galactics, I think they come to assist. So we're okay because we're kind of like the little sisters, right? I don't know if you have ever had like a little sister that you go and see what you could do to assist. So accept the assistance. What else I was gonna say? Many of the galactics that we see, I think I'm gonna end this talk with those two things. Many of the galactics you see are humans from other timeline or astrally traveling like me, because I can look like an alien too. You will know when it's a human or when it's someone from another plane because of the quality of your vision. If your vision is too diminished or blurry, or is trying to come through and then fade away, or you cannot see it very defined, it's not a very high frequency. That's what I think. Maybe it's a human, so sense it, because energy doesn't lie. The beings from a very high frequency, they will give you visions that are so gentle and defined that they clearly show who they are, and they respect your boundaries. I remember that I was contacted with a mantis, and I could hear kind of like the insect things, kind of like right, and I was like, "Are you a mantis?" Because I'm curiosity. And then I just heard like, right? Kind of like the insect thing. And then I would say, show yourself. I'm not going to freak out. I promise. I promise. But he never showed up himself. I felt in my heart, he knew I will freak out. And he respected, and that felt good. When you are in contact and you are respected, you have to set boundaries the same way you will set boundaries with any human. And if they respect that, I think that's a connection we should treasure and keep exploring it. But if someone did not respect you or you got scared or anything, then don't connect. Clear that out and then look for a different way, like me and Pleiadians, to connect in a way that it's in balance. It must feel good. It must feel you are ready for it, right? It's like, I don't know, if someone says, Gretel, just go and jump out of the airplane with a thing they have, I may won't do it. But someone that's trained for it, it will do it. But I don't have the training, I will freak out. But in the moment in time, if I have that training, or maybe a tequila shot or something, maybe I will be able to do it. I don't know. But right now, if someone wanted me to do it, I wouldn't be there. With galactic contact, I'm having, sounded so good. I'm having a lot of dreams about disclosure. I'm not into the disclosure movement because I think it will happen whatever is meant to be. And at the beginning, I thought humanity wasn't there yet. But I think we are. Even though we still have racism and things that we shouldn't have, I think we are ready. And I think it will happen gradually. And at least in my futures, the futures that I have been exploring, guides, it will happen not to the spiritual community, it will happen to the scientific community, I think. I had 2 dreams in the last month that aliens come to Earth, so I suppose it's going to be closer than what I expected. The first one, I was like in a press conference, and they were saying that they found proof that extraterrestrial existed. And then we felt like the ship, like the galactic sound from like a spaceship, and they were landing. And then I woke up, and then 2 days ago I dreamed that I was in Arizona, and there were galactics coming. They looked like human but taller, like 7 feet or something. And I was like, are those aliens? With the friends I was, and then I looked at my friends had the same tall, and then they said, yes, we are helping Earth to advance through its own ascension. And then I said, where does planet come from? Oh, we're from here, they said. And I was like, from here? What does that make sense? And they said, oh, we're all the same. So I assumed they were from Earth, but from future Earth, not actually from another planet. And then I realized that my friends looked the same. And probably I look the same, right? Because in your soul you change. So, and then when I woke up, the scene was spinning, and I was like, from here? What does that mean? Maybe I won't have all the answers, and you won't have all the answers. And it doesn't matter, guys. Prepare yourself first for your contact. And it will happen whenever it's meant to be. But I think it will happen closer than what we expected. I don't think it's not in this timeline, at least what I have seen from our reality. It won't be like alien wants to govern us or anything, because in another future reality, I saw that like in, I don't know how many decades. I have no idea, but I'm not Gretel. I'm like one of my grandkids, I guess. And then I saw that one of my grandkids that I am like myself we go into, and I think it's like San Francisco. And then we're going to San Francisco, and then under the bridge, it was like a vortex of water. And then we're going in there to exchange information with galactics, but we never saw them. It was just like an energetically exchange or something. And I was like, oh my god, that was so cool. So that's gonna be like the fun of the future. So there are different ways that they will come through. I don't think they will colonize us, because that would not be allowed. Not in this one. It has happened. That's why there are so many conspiracy theories in other timelines. But in this one, we're meant to ascend. That's what I think. I may change in the future, but I think that's how it's going to happen. And I think it will be more like an exchange of information. And then I was doing a drawing for a client last week, and in the drawing it came through that in that timeline Earth began to explore different planets. And then they were revealing to me that they found 3 or 4 Earth alike, that I think they already found them, but they're like too far away to travel, and humans were going like expeditions to adapt and to exchange viruses. No, just kidding. To exchange information and stuff like that. So my client was one of those emissaries from Earth going to explore in future decades different planets, and it all looked very fun. Be open for it. Let's see how it happened and how it evolves, and let's go with the flow. But meanwhile, work on yourself. There is nothing to worry about. I don't think so. Explore it. Whatever comes to you, it must have a reason to be explored from within, and if you can, then probably get assistance. But tools, that will know it. Sound tools, meditation, going for a walk, sun, connect to the elements of Earth, because there are a lot of changes happening very quickly, and we're definitely going into this cyber technology timeline on Earth with AI and all that stuff, that if we're not connected to the elements of Earth, then it feels complicated, and it shouldn't be. For the ones that have type that you would like the scholarship from the Priestess training, I guess I'm so excited. I will announce the name later. And for the ones that wanted to participate but they were not selected, then I will give you guys a code if you wanted to have a half a scholarship. That would do. I will let you guys know when I do another live, probably Friday or Saturday. Take this information, whatever resonates with you. I wasn't prepared to go live. It was just like an impulse, and I said, okay, let's go for it. Just observe. There are a lot of changes coming in this year. We're all going through. Be kind with yourself, but also be kind with each other. And for me, meditation is the best tool to connect with spirit and divine. But whatever works out for you, I'm sure that it is. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day, and see you guys soon. Bye-bye.